Most parents hand their kids money to spend. I paid my 13-year-old in a way that could quietly turn into $1 million decision without him even touching it.
How?
I tell you, he earned every dollar working with me, but the secret was not in the work. It was in what we did with the money afterward. Once you see how this plays out, you might wonder, what if I had started this earlier? Most kids learn to spend before they learn to earn. Allowances, birthdays, gift cards, all of it teaches consumption. And I wanted my son to learn something different. So we treated money like a tool. It was not a smooth ride. We had disagreements. Sometimes we lost time because we picked up the wrong spot to interview people. Once we even sneaked into a grocery store to ask questions. And many times he had to deal with rejections because a lot of people said no to the interviews.
Yeah, most people said no at first, but when they said yes, it felt awesome.
But he kept going. Every challenge built his communication skills, resilience, and confidence in a way no classroom could. Honestly, he was so natural that he put me to shame. This was not playtime. This was real work with real responsibility. And just like any other worker, he tracked his hours and got paid. If I had just handed him cash, it would be gone in weeks. But if I set it up the right way, that same money could quietly multiply for decades. The difference is not the dollars, it is the system. But here was the bigger question. What do we do with that paycheck so it is not just spent and it does not get eaten up by the taxes later? The answer is Roth IRA. It is a retirement account that lets you put in earned income, invest it, and then watch it go tax-free for decades. Once the money goes in, it is not about spending anymore. It is about multiplying. Here's the part that surprises most parents. Because he's only 13 and earns less than the standard deduction, around $14,500 this year, he will not owe any federal income tax on that money. And at the same time, my business get to deduct his pay as an expense, just like I would if I hired anyone else. That means I save on taxes today while he builds wealth for tomorrow. Now combine that with a simple formula called the rule of 72. It shows how long it takes money to double. Just take the number 72 and divide it by your annual rate of return. For example, if you invest at 9%, so 72 divided by 9 is 8. That means money doubles every 8 years. So instead of this paycheck disappearing on sneakers or gadgets, it sits in a Roth IRA quietly working.
Wait. The money grows even when I do nothing?
That's right. Every few years, it doubles again and again and again. That is the system. It is not about chasing quick wins. It is about letting time do the heavy lifting. Now, let us talk about the real magic of starting this young. My son earned $11,000 and every month, my LLC paid him just like any other employee. Instead of handing him cash, we invested into a Roth IRA. You can see the balance today is about $13,500. Yes, I did some risky plays recently, so it is bouncing around, but the long-term plan is simple. Keep it in the S&P 500 and let it ride for decades. Well, if you ask why S&P 500, because over the last 100 years, it has returned around 10% a year. And when you combine that with the rule of 72, the numbers get crazy. At 10%, money doubles every 7 years. So let's look at what that means for this $13,500. At 20, it could be $27,000. At 27, he would have $54,000. At 34, that will be $108,000. At 41, it will be $216,000. Double that by 48 and it will be $432,000. By 55, he will have $864,000. And by 59 and a half, the same $13,500 could be worth $1.3 million.
1.3 million from just that? That's crazy, bro.
That is a big number. And remember, this is inside a Roth IRA. That means when he takes it out, it is completely tax-free. The money he earned as a teenager, interviewing strangers, writing script, acting in the videos, could one day buy his freedom as an adult. This is the power of starting early. One decision today can ripple through an entire lifetime. But we are not done yet, and this is where it really explodes. This was not a one-time gig. It was nearly 2 years of him working with me. Now imagine when he gets his first job at maybe say 24 and he simply adds $100 a month into the same Roth IRA. $100 is not a big number. I mean, most people spend more than that on streaming or subscriptions or eating out. With just that small habit combined with that $13,500 he already had invested, the results explode. By retirement age, instead of $1.3 million, he would be sitting on several million dollars, all completely tax-free. Think about that. $100 a month at 24 supercharges it into generational wealth. This is why I keep saying it is not about money. It is about the time. The earlier you begin, the less you need to invest to change your future. Now, some of you might be thinking, isn't $11,000 too much to pay pay for a 13-year-old? Yeah, I understand. Does that cross into spoiling? I get it. But here is the difference. This was not free money. This was over a period of 2 years. This was not an allowance. It was almost 2 years of him acting over 50 shots, writing scripts, setting up cameras, interviewing strangers, doing some editing and whatnot. It was real work, real hours, and real responsibility. And here is the lesson for parents. Money is not a problem. How you frame it is the problem. If you just hand your kid cash, it teaches consumption. And if you pay them for real work and put it into an account that grows for decades, it teaches responsibility and wealth building. Some will also say, what if he loses interest in investing later? What if the market goes down? And that is the beauty of this. The system does not depend on his mood, his job, or even the short-term market swing. It depends on time and discipline. The S&P 500 has gone through wars, recessions, and crashes and still delivered around 10% a year for over a century. For me, the bigger win is not the $1 million. It is the mindset.
I used to think money was just for spending, but now I can know it works for me.
My son has already felt rejection when strangers said no to the interviews. He has already learned what it feels like to work through setbacks, and now he sees his money growing without him lifting a finger. That lesson is priceless. So I'll leave you with this. Would you rather give your kids sneakers that wear out in 6 months, or a system that can buy them freedom for the rest of their life? If you want more stories like this, please subscribe, because the earlier you start, the bigger the ripple. Don't forget to click on this interesting video. Your finance friend Sushant, signing off.